Wealthify is one of the most established robo-investing platforms out there, offering a simple and effortless way to invest money and have it managed on your behalf. Unlike a DIY investment platform which lets you select your own investments, Wealthify do this for you, placing your money in a portfolio suited to your risk appetite. And the process Wealthify use for this is probably the most simple I've seen for a robo-investing platform, which makes Wealthify ideal for beginner investors or those investors who just don't want the hassle of researching investments and then managing those investments. The beauty of Wealthify is that they manage the whole investment process. And over the past 3 months, I've been testing out the platform, testing out the underlying processes, and I'm now ready to review Wealthify. And in this video, we'll provide an overview of Wealthify, we'll provide a walkthrough review of their app before finishing off with a pros and cons analysis. If you're new to the channel, I'm Alex, a management consultant by day, and on this channel, we like to talk about all things finance with particular focus on how to grow your money. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to this channel, and all you've got to do is press that little icon in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into it with part 1, providing an overview of Wealthify's platform, and let's bring up their website to help us provide that overview. And Wealthify's platform is very simple and transparent, so this section will be quite quick. And that transparency, that simplicity starts with the accounts they offer. They offer 4 types of account: an investment ISA, stocks and shares ISA, a general investment account, a junior ISA, and a personal pension. So these accounts will suit most people. Most people who want to invest will fall into one of these buckets. Of course, this isn't perfect. If they had a LISA, a lifetime ISA, that would be great for those who want to invest to help them save up for their first home purchase. But these 4 accounts will be sufficient for most people. And most people who are looking to invest will either be looking at the investment ISA or general investment account. So Wealthify offers 4 types of accounts. It's very simply laid out. And the next step in terms of choosing a portfolio which Wealthify will manage for you, this is also very simple. Wealthify will of course manage the portfolio on your behalf, but when you first set up your account, after you've chosen your account type, Wealthify will then ask you to choose either an original portfolio or ethical portfolio, and then after that they'll ask you to choose a risk level to ensure they allocate you a portfolio which suits your needs. So let's go through this process. Let's say I want to start a general investment account, and you can see here at the bottom there it asks me to choose my investment theme. I can either choose the original, which is a classic blend of investments from the UK and overseas, or I can choose ethical, which is a blend of environmentally and socially responsible investments. And by this they mean investing in companies which largely avoid harmful activities, so activities such as tobacco, gambling, weapons, adult entertainment, these kind of things. And ethical investing opts for companies which avoid those activities and who take environmental and social responsibilities seriously. Whereas with original, you just don't have that filter for only investing in environmentally and socially responsible investments. It doesn't mean you're putting your money into bad companies and bad investments. It just means you don't have that filter of only investing in environmentally and socially responsible investments. So choosing your investment theme is the first step for Wealthify to identify what type of portfolio suits your needs. The next step is to choose your investment style. And this basically means choose your risk level. And there's 5 different risk levels here. Cautious, which means minimizing loss, is the priority. Then you have tentative, then you have confident, then you have ambitious, all the way up to adventurous. And adventurous means maximizing returns is a priority. The risk of substantial losses and substantial movements up and down in plan value are acceptable, with the aim of achieving the highest growth possible. And I like how simple it is for you to choose your risk level on Wealthify's platform. Other platforms make you do long questionnaires to gauge your risk appetite right at the start of the investment process, whereas Wealthify just gives you these 5 options. They make it really simple for you to choose your risk level. And they provide nice descriptions of what each risk level means, which makes it really simple and easy to choose what risk level suits your own needs. And in all cases, from cautious all the way up to adventurous, Wealthify will invest in a mix of government bonds, shares, property, corporate bonds, and some cash. Of course, the weighting between those different assets will differ depending on the risk level. For example, if we take a look at the high level breakdown of Wealthify original portfolios, you can see how the risk profile differs, how the weighting differs between those assets. So in the cautious portfolio, there's a high percentage of government bonds, over 50%. There's a high percentage of corporate bonds, there's a low percentage of shares. But if we move through the different risk profiles all the way up to ambitious and adventurous, you can see the percentage of shares increases to reflect the higher risk appetite. And this makes sense, as of course shares is a more risky asset. However, with that larger risk has often come historically over the long term higher returns. So how they've built these portfolios makes perfect sense in terms of increasing the percentage of shares and reducing the percentage of bonds as they go through the higher levels of risk levels, the higher risk profiles associated with these portfolios. And overall, Wealthify has a very simple robo-investing proposition in terms of choosing your account, choosing your investment style, choosing your investment theme. And the great thing about Wealthify's platform is that the minimum investment level is only £1. Other platforms such as Nutmeg and Money Farm have a £500 minimum investment, whereas Wealthify have just £1 as the minimum investment, which makes it really easy, not just to set up the portfolio, but test it out for beginner investors to put a small amount of money in. So to finish off part one of this video with the overview of Wealthify's platform, let's take a look at their fees. And as you would expect, Wealthify's fees are very simple, it's very transparent. They have a flat platform fee of 0.60%, which is the same for original and ethical plans. And on top of that, they have average investment costs. And these are the fund management costs you see on every platform. If you want to invest in a fund, you have to pay these fund management costs. And Wealthify attempt to keep these fund costs very low, investing in low cost passive ETFs. And for their original plan, the average investment costs are 0.16%, which brings the total investment costs to 0.76% for the original plan. And if you want the ethical plan, the average investment costs are much higher at 0.7%, which gives us a total 1.3% annual percentage fee. The Wealthify fee stays the same for original and ethical. It's just the average investment costs which differ. And it's not really a surprise that the ethical investments have higher costs, because ethical funds typically do have higher annual management fees. So it's a very clear fee structure. And in terms of how it compares to other robo-investing platforms, Money Farm and Nutmeg have much more complex fee structures, which work on a sliding scale from 0.3% to 0.75% as a platform fee. And that sliding scale is dependent on the investment plan you choose and how much you invest. So it's more complex. And in terms of that fee range, Wealthify is sitting kind of in the middle in terms of 0.6%, but it also benefits from being much more simple. It's also worth saying that there is another big player in the robo-investing market, which is InvestEngine, and they're undercutting all other robo-investing platforms with a platform fee of just 0.25%. So that's a big undercut compared to Wealthify. But of course, fees should only be one consideration into what investment platform you should choose. Each platform has its own pros and cons and will suit different types of people. And we'll come on to Wealthify's specific pros and cons later in this video. But for now, let's move on to part two of this video and let's provide a walkthrough review of Wealthify's platform using their very own app. So immediately when I enter the app, I have a nicely laid out dashboard providing me an overview of my plan, the investment value, the total growth, and then below that I have entry points to add money, create a plan, transfer any documents, and we'll go through all of this in detail later. At the bottom we have 4 navigation entry points: dashboard, articles, rewards and support. And if we click on articles, we can see here Wealthify is providing its users articles on the investment markets and how to invest and different investment topics. So we've got tabs at the top here for future planning, retirement, ethical, investing, juniors, news and performance, budgeting and savings. And I really like that they're trying to increase the financial education of their users, as of course it's widely known that in the UK we have a low level of financial literacy. So it's great that platforms like this are trying to do something about that and providing news, providing information to its users. The next tab is rewards, and Wealthify actually have a really good sign-up offer at the time of recording, where if you invest £250 and keep it there for at least 3 months, you get a £50 bonus. So this is a really good reward. And it's something I actually used when I signed up. So I invested £250 and I've now got the £50 bonus. And if you're interested in this, I've got a referral link in the description below. So if you click on that, if you sign up, invest £250, keep it there for 3 months, you get a £50 bonus, which is great. The last tab here is support, and Wealthify has a live chat, it has a call line, it has FAQs. So it has good support options to answer all your questions. So if we head back to dashboard, let's take a look at the process of creating a plan via their app. And after that, let's take a look at what that plan would look like, how you can manage the plan by looking at my own plan at the moment. So start off by creating a plan. Let's click create a plan. Let's click general investment account as the type of account we want. Let's click start a general investment account. I would like to invest £200 up front. How much do you want to invest monthly? £200 again. And the great thing about Wealthify here is that they have all the automation you would want to regularly invest in your portfolio. So you can set up a direct debit every month to have money going in to your Wealthify account, and then Wealthify will automatically invest that in your portfolio. So the whole process is automated. And you can see here, Wealthify is asking me what investment theme I would like, original or ethical. So the themes we went through earlier. Let's go ethical. And now it's asking me my investment style. So the risk levels we went through earlier as well. And let's go ambitious. I have a high risk tolerance, so I would like a riskier investment style. So let's say I'm happy with the investment theme and investment style. At the bottom here, I'm providing some information on the projected value of this portfolio, and I'm also providing some information on the projections if markets perform better than expected and if they perform worse than expected. So let's move on to next. It's providing me a summary of everything I've selected. Let's continue. It's providing me a summary of my fees. And these are the fees we went through earlier. So the Wealthify platform fee is 0.60%. The average investment cost for this portfolio is 0.64%. Because I've selected a ethical portfolio, the fees are slightly higher than the original portfolio options. I'm okay with this as I would like ethical investments. So I select confirm and continue. Now it's saving my plan. And now it's asking me some questions. And these questions are targeted to understand whether you're suited to investing. So let's go through the questions. And you can see the questions are being asked in a chat format. So the first question is, what's your experience in investing? I'll select very experienced. The next question is, which word most closely matches how you feel about taking risks with your money? I'll say opportunity. The next question is, how easily do you adapt when things go wrong financially? I'll say very easily. And the next question is a pay increase more important to you than job security? I'll put probably more important. The next question, when deciding what to do with your money, are you more concerned with possible losses or possible gains? So these questions are trying to gauge your risk appetite. So here I'm going to put, I'm more concerned about possible gains. Now it's asking me again another risk question. How much risk are you currently prepared to take with your financial decisions? I'll put large. Imagine you had invested £1,000 after 1 year, which of these losses would make you feel uncomfortable? I'll put loss of £500 or more. If you were investing £1,000, which option would be acceptable to you after the first year? I'll put chance to gain £150 or risk of losing £150. What type of income do you have? I'll put fixed income. Now salary, let's go with the average British salary of £30,000. In addition to the £200 you're investing today, how much do you currently have in cash, savings, investments? I'll put £10,000. What are your monthly outgoings? I'll put £500. Roughly how much are your outgoings on debt repayments? I'll put £100. And now it's saying thank you for your time to answer these questions. Please press continue to review your responses. I'm happy with these responses, so I select submit, and now it's setting up my plan. And the interesting thing about the questionnaire from Wealthify here is that if I answer the questions in a way which Wealthify thought I wasn't suited to investing, then they wouldn't allow me to set the plan. And this is great because not everyone is suited to investing. Some people can't tolerate risk, and they may be very likely to lose money if they invest. So I do like the socially responsible element to this questionnaire. So the next stage is your payment. So it'll be setting up the payment method. And after I've done all this, the plan will of course be created. So it's very simple to set up a plan. It's only taken 5 minutes or so to go through this whole process. Now in terms of how that plan looks like after it's been created, how you manage that, let's use my own plan as an example here. So on the dashboard, I have the entry point of view plan. And here we can see the plan value at the top there, which is around the £300 mark. And below that, we have a graph showing how the plan value has evolved over time. And we can zoom in to the last month, last 3 months, last 12 months, or zoom out to all time for this graph. And this is just a neat feature to analyze the investment growth, the investment performance. And there's no surprises with my graph here, as I deposited £250 to begin with. Then 3 months later, the £50 bonus came in, which increased the plan value to around the £300 mark. So there's no surprise with that. Below the plan value amount, we can also see growth in pound terms and the investment return in percentage terms. And the reason these two figures don't match up completely is because for investment return, Wealthify use something called time weighted rate of return. And this means that the growth in pound terms won't directly correlate with the percentage on the right there for investment returns. So don't be concerned if you think that percentage is wrong. They use a different calculation for that than you would expect. So overall, on this dashboard, I get all the high level information I need about my plan. Then below that, I have the option to set up a direct debit to have that automation I mentioned earlier. And below that, I have some projection information, which provides me some projections of how my portfolio may be worth in 10 years. And below that, I have entry points to add money, to move money between Wealthify plans, to withdraw money, and I can also see contributions at the bottom there. So they have all the key features really accessible. It's so simple here. Most people will be looking to get a gauge on their plan value. They may be looking to add money, they may be looking to withdraw money. This is all very nicely laid out. If we switch tabs to investments, I get a high level breakdown of my investments by asset type, and we can see over 50% of my portfolio is made up of shares, and then we can see the remaining assets percentages below them. So this is a neat feature again. And we can also see the breakdown by region, and you can see over 45% is made up of US investments. So again, this is quite a neat feature to see the analytics, the breakdown of the portfolio. If we move on to activity, I can see exactly what's been purchased in this portfolio. And this is neat to see what actually makes up this portfolio, what ETFs have been bought. And you can see here that there's quite a few Vanguard ETFs, so Vanguard US Index, Vanguard European Bonds, Vanguard UK Corporate Bonds. So we can gauge from this that Wealthify is investing in the well-known fund providers' funds. And it's also quite interesting just to see how Wealthify are managing this portfolio in terms of buying and selling different assets. You can see the most recent purchase and sales were on Friday the 29th of September. And I'm recording this on a Sunday, so it shows that it's very recent. The Friday before I'm recording this, Wealthify was investing and selling different assets. So it shows it's actively managed from Wealthify's professionals. And this is quite reassuring in terms of knowing this portfolio is being actively managed from a group of professionals from Wealthify to try and increase my returns as much as possible in response to market movements and their analysis. Although it needs to be said that some people may not find this reassuring, as they may point out that historically, passive fund investing in just one index, has historically beat active fund manager returns. And this is backed by a lot of data. So the constant buying and selling we see here in this portfolio of trying to achieve better returns may actually put some people off because they may have more trust in the passive, leave it alone for a long time approach. The last tab there is plan details, and here I can see the original choices I made for investment theme and investment style, and you can see here I can edit it. So this is good as it shows you can edit your investment style, you can edit your investment theme. It's not frozen after you've made those initial choices. You may over time change your risk level, and it's good that you have the option to change this. Below that, you can also change your plan name, you can take a look at the fees, and at the bottom here, you can start a flow to close your account, and you can see if I click here, there's a button at the bottom to close plan, but above that, Wealthify is providing some information about volatility, about investing, about having that long-term mindset, and I think this is very important as many people do fall into a short-term trap if they're not seeing positive returns in 1, 2, 3 months. They may get scared and just want to sell as they'd rather have the money than risk losing some money. So it's good that Wealthify is providing these articles to educate their users of the benefits and what long-term investing is to try and avoid them making short-term panic-driven emotional decisions. And overall, Wealthify's app provides a very good, easy to use user experience. It's easy to access the main features of viewing your plan, of adding money, of withdrawing money. All of this is very simple. And this is one of the major pluses of Wealthify's platform in terms of their app and how easy it is to use. And that completes the walkthrough review of their app. If we move on to the final part of this video in terms of the pros and cons analysis, I think the pros are pretty clear with Wealthify's platform. They have a very easy to use app and website. They are a great platform for beginner investors. They provide you with ethical investment options, which not all robo-investing platforms do. They also have a very low minimum investment level at just £1, unlike other robo-investing platforms such as Money Farm and Nutmeg, which start at £500. They also are backed by Aviva, which are a trusted household name, and some people may find comfort in they're backed by such a big organisation. And lastly, they have a great sign-up offer of a £50 bonus at the moment. If you want to receive that, I have the link in my description below. So there's very clear pros. It's a great platform for beginners. It's very easy to use. I think all of that came out in this video. On the con side, the portfolio range isn't as vast as some other robo-investing platforms. They don't have a lighter account type, so won't be suited to those who want to invest to save up for a house purchase or for a house deposit. They also don't have the cheapest fees in the market. Invest Engine have a much lower fee at 0.25% in terms of the platform fee. And lastly, Wealthify won't be suited to those who want to control their investments and those who want to invest in individual shares, as they're more suited to those who are either beginner investors or those who don't want the hassle of researching investments and then managing those investments. But overall, Wealthify offers a very competitive proposition for those looking at the robo-investing route, with a very simple and transparent proposition and a very easy to use app and website. If you want to sign up to Wealthify and want to get that bonus, please use the code and referral link in the description. Thanks guys.